Hi, welcome. This is the ties that bind. Um, a little bit of an introduction. So we are a group of people who started playing Monster Hearts, TTRPGs during the pandemic, and we've been playing for a while now. And so we decided to share our stories, and hopefully y'all enjoy. My name is Drew. I am going to be the game master tonight. Tonight we're going to be playing BadgeQuest, which is a brand new TTRPG that just came out, like literally it released like last week. So we are using this as kind of an opportunity to figure things out because we have never streamed before, and we've never played this system before. So we're going to be learning along the way, and so hopefully this will be a fun little learning experience for everyone. Um, and yeah, so before we get started, we can have everyone introduce themselves. So again, my name is Drew. My pronouns are they, she. I am the game master for tonight. And yeah, I'm a theater teacher. That's what I do. And I'm really excited. So let's throw it over to Gray.
Hi, I'm Gray. My pronouns are she, her. I am also a theater teacher and I'm just really excited to be here. Presley, take it away.
Hi, I am Presley Poe. I use she, they pronouns. Um, I'm also excited to be here, and I'm in school to be a theater teacher. Allie.
Hi, I'm Allie. She, her pronouns. I am a computer science teacher. It's a little different than everyone else. But yeah, I'm actually very nervous right now. I'm super nervous. All right, Josh, take it away.
Hey, my name's Josh Sims. I'm neither a teacher nor in theater professionally or anything, but I'm just a guy who likes hanging out with these crazy people. So we'll see how this goes. I think I'm about as nervous as anybody else here. So my pronouns are he, him. So there you go. Can't wait.
So yeah, so like I said, tonight we are going to be playing a game called Badge Quest. This is a TTRPG, a tabletop role playing game. That is about a group of um, kids who are members of the Blossoms, which is a kind of like a Girl Scouts analog, and they are trying to sell cookies, but Scooby Doo style mysteries happen. So it is equal parts cookie selling and mystery slash horror, light horror. And I'm really excited for us to get to meet our Blossoms this evening. Yeah, so I will let's go ahead and kick it off. As the camera pans across the town of Harvest Heights on a sunny Sunday morning in March, we see a picturesque scene of tranquility and small town charm. The streets are lined with quaint houses, each with their own unique character and charm. The trees that line the sidewalks are just beginning to bud with fresh green leaves, and a gentle breeze rustles through their branches. On the main street of town, we see the local shops and businesses opening their doors for the day. The aroma of fresh brewed coffee wafts out of the local bakery, and the sound of children's laughter can be heard from the nearby park. In the distance, we hear the soft chirping of birds as they flit about in the bright blue sky. The town square is bustling with activity as vendors set up for the weekly farmers market. The air is filled with the delicious scents of freshly baked bread, ripe produce, and fragrant flowers. Families and friends gather to browse the stalls, chat, and catch up on the latest news. As the camera lingers on this idyllic scene, we get a sense that this town is a place where everyone knows each other, where life is simple, and where there is a sense of community that can only be found in small towns like this one. But as the day unfolds, a subtle tension settles across the scene, as today is the most important day in some of Harvest Heights' littlest residents' lives, the first day of cookie selling season. As the town wakes up and begins its day, the girls in Blossom Troop 6256 eagerly prepare for a busy day of cookie selling. The camera fades out, then back in on a spacious but modestly furnished two-story house on the outskirts of town. The exterior is well maintained with freshly painted white siding and a neat lawn, but the lack of any ostentatious features reveals that the family is trying to appear wealthier than they actually are. The driveway is packed with two family cars, a fancy 2023 Toyota minivan and a noticeably older Honda Civic that has seen better days. A tiny puppy, a Papillon Chihuahua mix, barks incessantly as it runs around the fenced in backyard. As we enter the house, we see a fitness obsessed woman in her mid 30s with a strict demeanor and a toned physique. Her blonde hair is styled in a short, sleek bob, and she's dressed in skin tight workout gear, revealing a tattoo on her lower back. As she finishes and plates the egg white omelet she was making, she gives off an air of superiority and seems to be in control of this household. Sitting at the kitchen table in stark contrast is a hardworking but passive man in his early 40s. He's wearing an old and worn out sweater vest and jeans and attempting to read the newspaper, but an orange and black cat keeps walking across the table and booping the paper out of his hands. He looks a bit frazzled, with worry lines creased on his forehead. As the woman effortlessly sets 3 breakfast plates on the table, a young girl enters. Josh, would you like to describe your character?
Yes, this little girl, 9 years old, uh, comes out into the kitchen, and she's a little late for breakfast because she has to be perfectly dressed for the occasion. She's got cookies to sell, and people buy with their eyes first. So she has to make sure that every hair is in place. She's blonde like her mother. Uh, is very good at taking care of her hair, and her clothes are all just immaculate. And she walks in and just is super bouncy. And she goes up to her dad and says, "Daddy, how do I look?"
You look perfect, darling. Are you excited for the first day of cookie selling season?
"Yes, I am." And "Thank you." And she sits down, and she looks at her egg white omelet, and maybe she has a moment of disappointment. She really doesn't like egg white omelets, but she knows this is what she has to do to, you know, be as good as mommy is at all the things that mommy does. So she um, gets herself together and starts eating and pets the cat while she's eating. Uh, she gets reprimanded for that on a regular basis, but yeah, she is obviously spoiled and very, very confident in everything she's doing. She knew her father was going to tell her she looked perfect, but she wanted to hear him say it. So she's sitting down having breakfast.
As she sits there and pets the cat, her mom looks up from her phone and says, Ember Rose, get that cat off the table. Tiger, get down. And she swats at the cat.
Uh, Ember pulls the cat away just in time so it doesn't actually get swatted, and sets it down and secretly gives the cat a piece of the egg white omelet, like a pretty good hunk that the cat grabs and runs off with. And she says, um, "Mom, will you be able to join me, go around the neighborhood with me selling cookies today?"
Oh, honey, I'm too busy this morning. I have to go teach the hot yoga class. Your father's going to take you.
"Okay. Okay." And she takes a big sigh. She has no idea that her being obviously disappointed that her father is taking her is going to have any effect on her father whatsoever. And just sighs and says, "Okay, well, have fun at hot yoga." And she sort of, picks at her food a little bit.
Your father looks up and says, it is going to be a wonderful day. You know, we're going to the farmer's market today to set up. Um, you girls know what you're doing. I'll be around if you need me, but I don't want to cramp your style. And he shoots you finger guns.
She just stares at him like, "What are you doing?" You, oh, and anyway, I mean, she's 9, so it's not like she's a teenager yet, but she knows that that's not cool, Dad. Come on. And she goes, "No, you should probably, just stay back. We know what we're doing. I'm sure we have a plan, and when we get there, I'll ask everybody what it is, and we'll make sure we do it exactly right."
Perfect. I've already got the van loaded up. The wagon is there. All of the cookies are there. They're counted for. I've taken care of everything for you. Can you believe mom's letting me drive the van today? And your mom kind of rolls her eyes and huffs at the fact that she has to drive the clunker. But there's not enough space in that car for all the girls plus the cookies.
Okay, well, I'm done. When can we go? And
Let's head on out. And your father kind of shoves the rest of his omelet down. He's also very disappointed and does not like egg white omelets. Your mother just sort of sits there on her phone. She kind of waves goodbye to you, but doesn't make a move to like hug you or anything.
I think Ember goes over. I think Ember would go over to hug her, and realizing that she's busy, she'll okay and turn around and follow her dad out.
So your dad will pick up your bags. He carries everything for you, and he'll take you out. And he packs you in the van. As the van door slides shut, we transition to a rundown mobile home situated in a small and dusty trailer park on the outskirts of town. The outside is not much to look at, with faded green paint and a rusted metal roof. The porch is cluttered with old gardening tools and cigarette butts, and a mangy, one-eyed dog sleeps in a sunbeam next to the front door. As we enter the mobile home, the smell of cigarette smoke is palpable. Inside the living room is a small and cluttered office. The living room is small and cluttered with old furniture and knickknacks. A lanky teenage boy about 18 years old with shaggy brown hair is sitting on the couch playing video games. Every few moments, he yells profanities into his headset. An older woman in a long, faded caftan enters, a cigarette in one hand and a glass of iced tea in the other. Despite the wrinkles on her face and the gravelly quality to her voice, her eyes are warm and full of love. She yells down the narrow hallway, "Lydia Lou, they're going to be here any minute. Get your butt in gear." We hear an explosion of action followed by the hurried footsteps of a small girl. Gray, describe your character.
So Lydia Lou Crandall is 9 years old. She's got long, stringy blonde hair, and she's wearing a newly tie-dyed t-shirt. And it's got purple starbursts on it and yellow starbursts, and some jeans that used to be probably Randall's that they've kind of just cut off at the bottom. So now that they're little shorts. And she's wearing tall white knee socks and white shoes that used to be white, and they're probably like a muddy brown now. But she's a kid that doesn't really care about how she looks. She's just, excited to run around and be outside and play with Blink, her one-eyed dog. And so I think as Nini, her grandma, yells at her, she rushes in real quick and attempts to tie her shoes while she's kicking probably beer cans out of the way or something in the living room.
Girl, you are always late.
Nini, I'm just doing my best. I didn't know I had to be up this early.
Well, girl, I told you yesterday. That girl's dad is going to be so angry if you make him wait.
I'm not going to be late. I'm right on time. Look at the clock.
She'll look over at the clock. She takes a deep sigh. I guess you made it this time. Your brother, kind of waves at you to be quiet because he can't hear his headset, and then yells into the headset.
When he does that, she's going to walk over, make direct eye contact with him, and just pull the cable and just shut it off, do a wave, and walk out the front door.
As you walk out the front door, you hear him start yelling. He is so angry. And you hear your grandma start yelling back at him. And as you walk out the front door, we see the van pull up with Ember and her dad. And he stops in front of your house. And you see him kind of look around and give a very disapproving look of the neighborhood. But the van door slides open for you.
She's going to stand on the top of the porch and kind of brace herself because she wants to try and jump off the 6-foot jump or the 6-stair jump, just to impress everybody. And so when she does, she doesn't land quite right and falls back on her palms. She's going to get up and she's going to go, "Woo, hopefully nobody saw that," and runs into the van.
I think when Ember is watching it, and she lets out a little squeal, a little scream when she sees you fall. and she can't help but laugh a little bit. I mean, she's 9, but she tries to. Oh no, I should know better. Oh gosh, and she starts going through a little bag she has with her, and she starts like pulling out like maybe a sash or something, like the official brownie sash, or not brownies, blossoms sash. And she's whenever you get into the van, she goes, here, I made one for you. I know you don't have one. Here you go.
Oh my God, thank you. How do I put it on?
Here, we'll do it on the way. And she heaves the door shut, and she sort of sets you down on one side and starts, doing what she has to do and puts him on.
And as Ember's father drives off, we now transition to a quaint street near the town center. This street is home to a number of small local businesses, most of which have apartments above them. As we come to rest outside a coffee shop, simply named the Coffee House, the camera pans up to the second floor window where we enter a small but trendy apartment. The living room is decorated with colorful throw pillows and framed photos of Amelia's family, giving it a warm and homey feeling. The walls are painted with a bright yellow color that makes the small space feel bright and cheerful. A young woman in her mid to late 20s stands near the front door packing a small backpack. She wears a uniform with an apron that bears the same logo as the coffee shop downstairs. A baby no more than 5 months old lies in a bassinet in the living room, gently cooing as he plays with his toes. As the woman tucks a well-loved stuffed rabbit into the backpack, leaving its head poking out as she zips it up, she flashes a warm smile, if tired. She moves to a nearby diaper bag and once again begins packing as a small girl quietly enters the room. Presley, describe us, your character.
So we see Amelia. She's just turned 10, which she's excited about. She has long, probably like dirty blonde-ish hair. It used to be really blonde when she was little. And as she gets bigger, it gets darker. She's got it in 2 little pigtails down at her sides. And she's wearing like a cream colored like crew neck that has a little frog on it. And some purple like leggings, and some sneakers that have probably seen better days. And she takes the backpack from her mom, and she says, "Thank you, Mama."
You're welcome, darling. And as you say that, your little brother starts kind of fussing a little bit. Amelia, will you go see what your brother needs? Put his pacifier in so I can finish packing.
Yes, Mama. And she'll go over to the baby, and she'll start kind of like shushing him, and is like looking for a pacifier. And she's like, "No, it's okay. We're right here."
Your mom smiles. Amelia, you are such a good big sister. Can you
Amelia just kind of smiles back at her, and then goes back to the baby.
She will toss you a coat for the baby. It's a little chilly outside, and I have to leave soon to take him to the sitters. Can you put his coat on him for me?
Yes, Mama. And she'll put the coat on the baby.
As you finish putting the coat on the baby, your mom gets a text, and she looks at it and she says, "Oh, they're here to pick you up. Come on, grab your brother and we'll head downstairs. I've got to go too. My shift starts in like 20 minutes. Oh, I'm gonna be late again." And she will kind of roll the stroller over and help you get the baby in, and then she leads you out, and you have to kind of maneuver the stroller down the staircase, which you're used to helping her with. And you get to the street level, and as you get to the street level and kind of push the door open, you see Ember's van sitting right out in front of the coffee shop waiting for you.
Amelia kind of turns away from the street back to her mom, and will like run up and like hug her around the waist. And really quietly we hear her go, Mama, I'm scared.
I know you're scared, baby, but you are so brave. I'm sorry I can't be there today. I can't miss my shift again, but you have Bunny and he will take care of you. And your friends are going to be there, and Ember's dad will be there, and you all will do a great job selling cookies. I just know it. And she grabs a hat out of the side pocket of your backpack, like a beanie, even though it's not that cold out, like it's pretty warm. It's just a little windy, and she kind of puts the hat down and like pulls it down over your ears. And she like pulls your little cardigan closed on you and kind of fusses about you a little bit and gives you a big squeeze. Um, and she puts her hand on your cheek and she says, I'll see you tonight. I love you.
Love you too.
She'll
And
kiss you on
she'll lean over to the stroller and she goes, I love you too, Ashton.
he kind of just like babbles at you and kind of like reaches his hands out and grabs at you.
And then she will turn to the car and she takes kind of like a big deep breath in and she grabs the straps of her backpack as she goes up to the car. And tries to figure out how to open the door because it's like a minivan and you have to like pull it and open it, and she's probably never been in a minivan before.
And as you sort of fumble around, Ember's dad pushes the button and the door automatically slides open. And Lydia and Ember are sitting in the seats in the middle.
She climbs into the car and does not say a word. And
I think Ember will say,
backpack.
oh, go ahead.
She takes her backpack off and just like sets it in her chest and is just holding it.
I think Ember, not really directly to Amelia, but says, oh, we've been waiting forever. Come on, Dad, let's go. She's like really impatient, ready to, let's go.
When she says that, Amelia just like curls up into herself.
And I think Ember's dad kind of looks in the rearview mirror at you. Good morning, Amelia. We're so glad you're here with us this year.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
And he'll push the button and the door slides closed again. And the van takes off. And we follow the van kind of down the street towards the town center. As the van pulls up to the farmer's market, we spot a large RV parked in a lot nearby. The RV is painted in bright colors and adorned with stickers and magnets from different states and attractions. It's clear that this is not just any RV, but a home on wheels. As we approach the RV, we see a tall, lanky man emerging, wearing a worn-out flannel shirt and jeans. He gives a friendly wave and a smile before disappearing back into the RV. Nearby, we see a young boy riding his bicycle around the lot, weaving in and out of the parked RVs, making more than one close call. As we move inside, we meet a petite woman with short brown hair and a warm smile who is bustling around the compact kitchen area, preparing lunches and placing them into brown paper bags. She has carefully written Ember, Lydia Lou, Amelia, and Piper on them, and decorated them with tiny hearts. As she places handwritten notes in each one, the man comes up and hugs her from behind. They both giggle like teenagers before she calls for Piper. Pipes, come get these lunches. Dad said your troop just pulled up. Allie, describe your character as she enters.
So Piper, I think, is the oldest of the group. She is 11. And she has got like golden brown hair. It's obviously been like almost sun highlighted because she's outside all the time and she's sunburnt. And she's getting a little lanky, so she's got overalls on, but they're cuffed at the bottom because they're too short for and she's got in her hand, she's got like a Swiss Army knife, and she's like almost trying to do like butterfly knife tricks with it, even though that's not what you're supposed to do with it. She's like, all right, I'm coming.
Piper, be careful with that. She looks at your father. Honey, I told you not to give her that thing. She is going to cut her finger off.
I'll be careful. It's
right.
good for the troop.
That's fair. And I guess You have to learn somehow. Just be careful.
Okay. She'll just stick it
Here.
in her pocket.
Put these in your backpack, and she gives you the 4 brown paper bags with the lunches in them.
She'll start stuffing them. What's for lunch? What are we having?
Peanut butter and jelly? Hopefully none of your friends have an allergy. Nobody said anything, but if they do, just come back over. Y'all are right across the street.
Okay, I don't know if they do either.
All right. Well, good luck today. Sell some cookies.
I'll try.
We're so proud of you. And your father will come up and like tussle your hair a little bit.
Okay.
Well,
I'm not,
they're
okay.
waiting for you.
Okay.
Go on.
I'll see you all later. Okay. She kind of like skips out of the RV, jumps down the steps of it, and starts heading over to the van or wherever they're at.
So yeah, you head over to the van, you meet up with the girls, everybody's getting out, you're kind of unpacking. Your father's doing all the work, Ember. You can tell he is used to just being told what to do. And he kind of gets the wagon out and he loads it up with all of the boxes of cookies. And he says, "All right, girls, I will be here. I'll just be waiting in the van. Um, just you've got the day. Sell as many cookies as you can. Today is the day that we beat those other troops. You got to start today strong. I know you guys can do it.
Woo!
You all want to be a winner, don't you?"
Yeah, we're winners.
Yes, Daddy. Of course we're gonna win. Of course.
All right. Make me proud. And he pulls out like a portable TV, which is weird. Like most people just have a cell phone, but he has this like portable TV with the big antenna, and he pulls up some sports game, and it's like a rerun of a sports game, probably. Like it's super weird, and he just like plops down in the front seat of the van and just windows down, just sits there. Um, and so you all gather your things and head into the farmer's market. You walk your wagon stacked with colorful cookie boxes through the lively and bustling farmer's market. The smell of fresh flowers and produce fill the air as people bustle around, sampling fresh fruits and vegetables, cheese and baked goods. The market is vibrant, with booths displaying an array of colorful products, from brightly colored flowers to fresh farm eggs and homemade jams. The sounds of laughter and chatter fill the air as people of all ages enjoy the sunshine and the beautiful day. As you walk through the crowds, you hear people exclaiming, "Oh, look, it's the blossoms. Must be the start of cookie season." You position your wagon in a strategic location where you hoped to attract the most attention. As the people bustle around you, you all take a deep breath in, determined to make this the year you outsell your rival troop from Elmwood, and the competition officially begins. So, as a part of BadgeQuest, each of the characters chooses an archetype and starting equipment. So, just in the interest, since we're learning the game, we can kind of talk a little bit about that. So, do each of you want to tell us what your character's archetype is, your starting badges, and your starting equipment? Let's go in backwards order. So, we'll start with Allie.
Okay, so Piper is a scout. And so she has her item is her Swiss Army knife, which she does not use correctly. And her first 2 badges are first aid and archery.
Awesome. And then we will go to Amelia.
Amelia is the athlete, and her badges are cooking and dancing. And her item is her lucky charm, which is a little stuffed rabbit named Bunny that she carries everywhere with her.
Lydia Lou.
She is the detective, and her starting badges are sleuthing and knot tying. And her specialty item is a wagon that she's going to go pick up from Farmer Bruce at the farmer's market in a second.
And Ember.
Ember's badges are drama and sales, and her are we doing archetypes too, or just the equipment? The
Archetypes, yeah. What's your
Okay.
archetype?
The archetype is the entrepreneur, and her special item is the field guide. So she has the official handbook that she carries around.
Excellent. So as you all set up to sell your cookies, what do you do? What do you want to do?
I think
Well-
Amelia is taking boxes out of the. Do we have like a table, or are we just not out of the wagon?
You have a little table with you. Sure.
I think Amelia is like taking the boxes out of the wagon and setting them up on the table, and she's just doing that, just quietly to herself.
Awesome.
I think Piper is trying to get the attention over the table by doing some stupid moves with her Swiss Army knife. Like she's like, yeah, come over here. But she's not very good, and she does not have a very good charm, so it's obviously not gonna work. But she's doing her best. Hey, she's giving it her all with the Swiss Army knife.
Lydia Lou is spends a lot of time here because this is where her Nini sets up. So she's gonna go meet everybody. She's gonna go over to Farmer Bruce and ask for her wagon back first.
So you walk up to Farmer Bruce's stand. He's got a variety of produce out. There's a few people kind of looking over the vegetables that he's got set out. And he looks up at you and he says, "Ah, Lydia, what's up, girl?"
Did I happen to leave something here a couple days ago?
Let me think about it. And he kind of looks around and he goes, "I don't know. Is it red? Does it have four wheels?"
Yes, I left my wagon. Are you using it? Do you need to use it, or could I have it back?
You can have it back. It came in a lot really handy this morning trying to move my potatoes over here. But you can have it back. Here you go. And he'll pull it out from behind the stall.
And then I think when he does that, she's going to like pop her hands right between like probably the cabbages and the potatoes and say, "Have you got any cookies yet this season?"
I haven't. My dealer hasn't been by yet.
Well, we got a table if you want to come by.
You know what? I might do that. I'm a little busy right now. So,
Oh, it's okay. I'll come remind you. Don't worry.
perfect. And he'll kind of ruffle your hair a little bit. Tell your Nini I said hi.
I will. And she'll grab it and she'll whack it across, and she probably hit somebody on the way, but
Oh
she's
yeah, for
get
sure.
back.
You completely run it into the shin of this like wealthy looking lady. She's like really uptight. She's way overdressed to be at a farmer's market. And she kind of like, oh, and gives you a dirty look as you walk by.
Oh, and if Lydia Lou thinks it's mean, she's gonna probably like bark at her.
She will, oh, and walks the other direction. And Farmer Bruce just rolls his eyes because like you just lost him a customer, but whatever. He thinks you're funny.
I think Ember is sort of not necessarily going behind Amelia and rearranging all the boxes into a more attractive pattern, but just sort of a little bit, just like okay, well here, now we'll put this bit here, okay. And she sees Lydia go and hit that lady in the shins with her wagon, and she, oh no, and she runs over and she tries to talk to this lady. Looks like she could afford a lot of cookies, so she's, oh man, I saw what happened, would you like a cookie? And she opens a box. She has a box of cookies right there. She opens one, she offers it to her for free. She goes, we're selling these today, but I think the least you deserve is one for free. And she smiles real big.
The woman kind of like clutches her shirt and like recoils from you a little bit, but the cookies are intriguing. So we're gonna make our first roll of the game. So the way that skills work in BadgeQuest, all of the characters have 3 stats, and those stats are charm, skill, and oh boy,
Toughness.
toughness. There it is. Sorry, we're learning, y'all. So charm, skill, and toughness. And these abilities kind of govern how good your character is at things. And so we are going to make a charm check to see if you can get this lady to lighten up. So the way that this game works is on a d6 system. Your charm skill, you should have a number in charm. That is how many d6s you are going to roll. And you are trying to meet a target. So this is, she's a little upset because she's been run into. So this is a pretty difficult check. So we're going to set the target number at 5. So you're going to roll a number of d6s equal to your charm skill. And if any of them come up to 5 or above, then you are successful.
Okay. Well, luckily, Ember's charm is 4, so I get to roll all of her dice. So here we go. So do I need a 5 or a 5 counts, or it has to be a 6?
A 5 or a 6. So a 5 or above on at least 1 die. If you get more than 1, it doesn't matter. You just have one of them has to be a 5 or above.
All right. I did not. I got 2 1s and 2 2s. So I'm going to get 4 new dice. But anyway, that's what I have right now.
So you try your very best to look cute and sweet and innocent. And the woman was mildly intrigued by the cookies, but then she looks at you and looks at the other girls, and she kind of pulls herself up again and just goes, "Oh, children are disgusting," and turns around and walks away.
Well, Ember is absolutely flabbergasted by that. She's certainly never had a reaction like that. So she is just beside herself and walks back in a bit of a huff. And
Ember walking back defeated. Amelia's trying to hide it, but she's like low-key giggling because she thought that what Ember was doing was crazy. And then it didn't work, and now she's like, that was goofy. That was silly goofy.
Ember just gives you a look. Just shut up. Doesn't even say it. Just looks at you like that.
So as the day progresses, y'all have planned to be here for like the bulk of the day. The BadgeQuest works on cookie selling periods, and you can sell cookies during the weekday for 4 hours, and on a weekend you can sell for 8. And today is a Sunday. It is March 1st, the first day of cookie selling season. So you all have a full 8 hours, and your plan is just to post up at the farmer's market and try to sell your cookies. So, is there anything else you all want to do kind of in the morning session? So you have about 4 hours, and then you all can eat lunch, and then we'll have a 4-hour afterward. Is there anything else you want to attempt to do in the morning session?
I think Ember has decided that she one of her traits is a perfectionist, and I think she's going to try to how to put this zhuzh up Lydia a little bit. She, they're friends. Maybe they're friends from when they were little tiny kids, but she's trying to just doing whatever she can to make Lydia look more like the perfect blossom, and she's having some difficulty with it, and the others are passable. So she gives them whatever. And it takes a while for her to sort of get over the fact that this woman just abjectly rejected her. She's distracting herself by, I don't know, playing with Lydia's hair and stuff like
that.
I think if you are like, are you physically touching Lydia?
I would say sure, unless she would have a problem with it.
I think eventually she'll have a problem with it.
Okay.
Depends on how long you choose to do it.
I mean, she'll probably go until you tell her to stop. Would be my guess.
Okay. Because I think she's a kid that would throw an elbow if you didn't stop, is what I'm getting at. So I didn't know if that's something we need to continue.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. So, so she throws an elbow at Ember.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't think she knows how to use her words. So
Gotcha.
yeah. If you are getting like too much, she's just gonna
Ember's like, oh, fine, fine. And she takes a deep breath and sort of pouts off and walks away a little bit to one of the other girls.
I think
Piper,
when you do
probably.
that she's gonna ram her wagon and walk away as far as possible.
All right.
So you all go about your ways, selling cookies. You have some people that come up to you. You all go out and kind of try to sell to people out in the crowd. Farmer Bruce comes over at one point to buy some cookies from you. And so it is now about lunchtime. Our morning session of cookie selling is over. So we will make our first cookie selling check. So everyone is going to make a charm test, and your target number is 5. So for a cookie selling test, you're going to count the numbers of 5 and 6, 5s and 6s. So 5s and above that you get. So if you roll 4 5s, then you're going to sell 4 boxes of cookies. Each box of cookie is worth $5, and you're going to keep track of how much money you make. So let's start with Ember. Go ahead and make your cookie selling check. And tell me how many boxes of cookies you sell.
Okay, these dice are better. I have a 5 and a 6, so that's 2.
Great.
And my archetype, the entrepreneur, says I double the result of all my daily cookie sales checks.
Nice.
So I sold 4 boxes of cookies.
Perfect. So you can mark down that you sold 4 boxes of cookies. That's a total of $20. Let's go to Piper.
A 0 for Piper.
Piper just gets way too into her like karate moves with her Swiss Army knife and just does not even
she
bother
cannot
to sell
focus
any
on selling these cookies.
Awesome. Amelia.
Amelia's got 1 charm, so pray for my sweet girl. It's a 6.
Awesome.
Let's go.
So Amelia manages to sell 1 box of cookies. And Lydia Lou.
Oh. Okay, 1. I got a 5.
Awesome.
Yes.
So that is a total of 6 boxes of cookies sold for this morning. Not too bad. You all eat your lunch, kind of around your table, take your little break, and then the afternoon cookie selling session begins. The afternoon session gets a little bit more busy. Church lets out, you get a lot of people coming into that afternoon time slot. And about halfway through your afternoon session, this couple walks up. It's a man and a woman, and the woman is like looking at the cookies, and she's like, trying to decide what she wants to buy. And her husband is like, you do not need any more cookies. Come on, we're not buying any of these. And Lydia, you recognize this man. You are a sleuthy little girl, and you pay attention. And 2 nights ago, you saw this man coming out of Miss Claudia's trailer late at night. And he did not have this woman with him then.
So I think the moment I see him, I'm gonna say, excuse me, where's Miss Claudia?
The woman looks at her husband and gives him this piercing stare. And he kind of clams up a little bit, and he's like, I don't know who you're talking about. Who are you?
Well, my name is Lydia Lou Crandall, and I'm pretty sure I seen you come out of Miss Miss Claudia's trailer the other night. I mean, it looked like you. It sounded like you for a while. So I just assume it was you.
I, I don't know what you're talking. And the woman is just cross-armed, staring at him. Look, fine, we'll buy some cookies. We'll buy some cookies. And he reaches into his wallet and grabs some money and just like takes a couple boxes and just bolts. And his wife follows him and she starts yelling at him.
I think as they're walking away, he's gonna or she's gonna say, "Well, thank you, and tell Miss Claudia thank you too."
And he just head down is just like headed directly for the parking lot. And this woman is just following him, just screaming, making a huge scene. Is there anything else that you all want to do this afternoon?
I think that Amelia has set herself up on the corner of the table, and I think she's taken Bunny out of her backpack and has managed to position him on the table so it looks like he's holding a box of cookies. And she is so quietly standing at this table going, "Does anybody want to buy cookies?"
As you do that, a lot of people just kind of walk right past you, like they don't even see you. But a uh a boy walks over. And this is a boy from your class, a boy that you recognize. Um, and he's kind of small, a little squirrely. He's got big glasses on. He's missing one front tooth. His hair is like a mess. And he comes up and he's like, "Hey guys, what you doing out here?"
We're selling cookies.
And you know this kid is Ethan. Um, he's one of your classmates, and he says, "Oh wow, that's really cool. My mom doesn't let me eat cookies. She says that refined sugar is bad for you."
Oh, um, okay. And she like takes a step back away from him.
And he looks over at the table, and he sees Bunny, and he says, "What is that thing? It looks really dirty."
It's Bunny. And she like has her arms crossed in front of her.
"Well, I can see that it's a bunny, but why is it on this table? You shouldn't have this near food products. Do you know how many germs and bacteria are on stuffed animals?" And he like goes to grab it.
She dives for it. I mean, I don't know if she like hits the table, but he is not touching Bunny.
Yeah, so you go for it and you knock like 3 or 4 boxes of cookies off the table and he like kind of backs up a little bit. "What is your problem?"
Bunny doesn't like boys.
"Well, that feels really discriminatory, and I don't know why that would be the case. Um, I just it just seems a little gross to have that icky thing on the table near all these cookies."
Bunny wanted to help sell cookies, and I wasn't gonna tell them no.
The other 3 of you all now know, you hear the cookie boxes go flying, and fall off the table, and so you all notice this interaction happening. And Ethan is getting kind of a little pushy about this. And he kind of like takes a step towards you, and he's like, "I don't think it's very cool of you to have a bunny that doesn't like boys. Maybe I should tell Mrs. Smith that you are being mean to me."
She is frozen and probably is about to start crying.
Piper walks up. Do I know Ethan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you all are in the same class.
Okay. Is there a problem, Ethan?
Only your face, Piper.
That's rude. Why you being rude?
I'm not being rude. I was just telling Amelia that you shouldn't have dirty, gross stuffed animals next to food products because it's cross contamination.
Well, there shouldn't be dirty, gross people around the food boxes as well. Ethan!
Uh, Piper, you're not being very nice to me right now.
You're not being very nice, Ethan. You're gonna end up being one of those guys that says he's nice, but he's really not. That's what's gonna happen to you.
Piper, go ahead. Are you trying to, like, intimidate him?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and make a toughness check for
Okay.
me.
So what do I need to do for that?
So he's not a very brave little boy. He's really pretending to be a lot cooler than he is. So we'll set the target number at 3.
Okay. So I got a 3 and a 6.
Perfect. So when you say that, he goes quiet and he's just like, well, you have stupid hair. And he turns around and he runs away from you.
I think she's like, my hair is pretty cool, actually. And he's not. She's. I mean, obviously, he's not. He can't hear it because my hair's pretty cool. His hair's stupid. He looks stupid. Isn't that right, Amelia?
You turn to Amelia and she's standing there like holding Bunny's ears so that Bunny can't hear Ethan being mean about them. And she goes, yeah, your hair's really pretty.
Oh, thanks. And your buddy's not dirty, and even if it was, these cookies are sealed, so like it wouldn't really matter.
She holds up Bunny and like grabs one of his little arms and is like, "Thank you."
She's gonna shake his little hand.
So sweet.
I think Ember is like behind them, sort of like not she sort of grins a little bit at that, but she's putting all the boxes back. Just the whole display just got destroyed. It's awful. Anyway, stupid boys. I swear. She's grumbling, mumbling, and putting them back, and she's fine again.
What is Ethan's last name?
His last name is Johnson. Ethan Johnson.
Cool. I think if Ethan is at all in earshot, she's just gonna start screaming, "Ethan Johnson, I swear you still eat your boogers!" And she's just gonna keep screaming it.
He's like standing next to his mom and he's just like intently staring at the ground, pretending not to hear you, but you can see his face is beet red. And his mom kind of looks over at you and then looks down at Ethan and he like puts his head down and she grabs his arm and they walk off.
If she looks at me, I'm just gonna wave, like very aggressively.
She gives you a very fake smile and like a, who is this weird kid yelling my son's name? Yeah, and then they head off. All right, if there is nothing else you all specifically want to do this afternoon, we can go ahead and wrap up to our second session. So go ahead and make another cookie selling check.
I only got one more one more success, which equals 2 boxes of cookies. So I got 2 more boxes of cookies.
None for Amelia?
I got nothing.
Lydia Lou did sell 2, so you can add 2 to whatever your roll was.
So that's 3. I sold 3.
And Piper?
Piper's not having a great day.
Okay. All right, so keep track of your cookies. Awesome. So the day ends, you all pile back into Ember's van, and her dad drives you all home. You guys have a lovely dinner with your families in their respective homes and get yourselves tucked into bed for the night. Um, you got school tomorrow morning, so you you go to school Monday morning, and you all have plans. You all are selling these cookies, so you have plans pretty much every afternoon for the next few weeks to sell cookies. Monday comes and goes. You all go out and sell your cookies. Nothing really of interest happens on Monday, so we can go ahead and do another round of cookie checks. And we can just do those real quick. Nothing really exciting happens on Monday. One for Amelia.
And I'm gonna put all these on the cookie check thing. It's gonna be updated, so.
Perfect. How many for one for Piper, none for Lydia? How many for Ember? 2.
2 total, yes.
Perfect. All right. So Monday passes without incident. Y'all go out to kind of your usual stomping ground. These are all kind of your usual customers, but a number of people aren't home. So you do okay. You sell a few things, but not a ton. But yeah, Monday ends, and then we come to Tuesday. So Tuesday, Lydia has convinced you all that you need to sell cookies in the trailer park. So Tuesday after school, you all get on your bikes and ride over to the trailer park to meet up with Lydia. And the trailer park is situated kind of outside the main town, but this town is pretty small and everybody knows everybody, so y'all are pretty used to riding your bikes around. So as you pull up to this trailer park, there are a number of characters like out and about. People are hanging out in the front yard talking. It's a really nice March day. The weather is warm for March, so people are having a good time, and you all are you meet up at Lydia's house.
I think when you all get there, she's gonna meet. Are they coming to me, or did I ride with them?
You all are, I guess you can ride back from school. Like you go straight from school to Lydia's house. And Ember, your dad has already dropped off the cookies at Lydia's trailer, so they're there waiting for you.
The moment everybody gets there, she's gonna walk up to the porch and say, "Y'all want to see my dog?"
Yeah.
And
yeah, absolutely.
Open the screen door, rush in. You hear me kicking around things, yelling for Blink. And when she finds Blink, it's the most mangy, one-eyed 14-year-old dog you've ever seen, and it's yipping and it's trying to jump out of her hands, and she's like Simba style, showing everybody off the porch her
Piper's
almost dead dog.
into it. She's like, it looks like E.T.
Piper, you want to hold him?
Yeah.
And she's gonna kind of awkwardly kind of pass off the dog to Piper.
He's like yipping at you.
And just like holding it and looking at it like in its face. Like that.
And as you hold it, you're holding it kind of out in front of you, and you just start to hear this, and you look down and the dog is just peeing a little bit. It doesn't get on you because you're holding it like out in front of you, but it's like peeing on the like dirt out in front of the trailer.
I love him.
I think
y'all want to
Ember's
hold it? She like
squeals. No, Ember's like, she, especially when it starts peeing, she just squeals and like hides behind Amelia. It's like
Amelia also squeals and like backs away. But she does go. She looks at Lydia Lou. She's like, he's really cute.
And when you say that, Lydia Lou's gonna go, "Oh, don't lie, he's ugly." And she's gonna take the dog from Piper and walk on up to the porch and throw him inside, or lightly toss him inside. I'm not eating.
I have a dog like
Chuck him inside.
wow.
So you all start your cookie selling here at the in the trailer park. Um and you all start knocking on doors. So let's go to one of your neighbors' houses. You come up to this trailer and you hear a TV kind of blaring inside. And you kind of knock on the screen door, like the front door is open 'cause it's nice out, and there's just a screen door there. Um, and You hear this guy kind of like get out of his chair, and he's like, "Ugh," and you hear this like heavy breathing and these big footsteps, and this large man kind of saunters up to the door. um, and he looks out at you. He doesn't open the screen door, he just looks down at you. What are you all doing?
Um, uh, Hi, Mr. Patterson. We are just coming back because we're selling cookies. I didn't know if you would want any.
I do love me some cookies. What kind of cookies you got there, girl?
Um, I don't know what kind of cookies we have. I'm
You
just gonna
name
look. I'm
some
gonna look at the
cookies.
wagon and say all kinds.
All right. How much are they?
$5.
All right, give me a box of them cookies then.
Okay, all right. And she's gonna randomly just grab one from the wagon and hand it on over.
And he'll kind of push the screen door out, and he gives you a $5 bill and takes the box of cookies. Um, as you all are kind of getting towards the end, you keep going, you kind of door to door here, and y'all keep getting distracted. And Lydia wants to show you all of the sights of the trailer park. So it takes you the better part of 4 hours. And as the sun starts to go down, you all are kind of like at the far end of the trailer park, like way out at the end. There's kind of like a wooded area that is sort of the back boundary to the trailer park. And most people have gone inside. Most people are eating dinner at this point because it's getting a little dark. Um, and you all are the street lights start to come on. And as you're like getting ready to head back because you know your parents are going to be here to pick you up soon, um, you're in kind of this back area. Um, the kids call it the field. And they play baseball and all kinds of stuff there, but it's just kind of this big open dirt patch where like they'll probably put more trailers eventually, but there aren't any here now. And as you guys are out there, you hear a noise from the like wooded area, kind of like some rustling in the bushes.
Amelia will look at Lydia. She doesn't say anything, but she looks concerned.
If she's gonna notice your look and say, um, well, I don't know what that noise could be, y'all.
And you,
I've heard it before.
from the rustling, you hear kind of a like a yip, like a dog bark. And as you say that, you see this dog kind of pad out. It's a mutt. It's clearly a stray. Its fur is a little dirty. It's kind of on the thin side, and it kind of steps out uh, from the wooded area, and just kind of stops and stares at you all.
Hey, puppy. Are you
Ember is
dog?
definitely sort of peeking out. Yeah, she's peeking out behind Piper. She's sort of decided Piper is the one to hide behind. She doesn't know what kind of dogs are around this place, but it's not the kind of dog she's used to. Her little Papillon Chihuahua mix is about as vicious a dog as she's ever known. And that thing has never barked in its life. So she's just sort of hiding behind, whoever she can hide behind.
And I think Amelia is hiding behind Ember. And I think the three of them are in a little line and they're just poking their heads out. Very
Uh, if y'all are hiding, Lydia Lou's gonna walk forward and say, "Oh, it's nothing but a trailer mutt."
And as you start to get close to it, you see the dog kind of go tense, and its fur kind of stands up a little bit and it starts growling at you.
And she's immediately gonna go to the back of the line of all the scared people.
I don't think it's a nice puppy. I think it's an angry puppy.
And it starts towards your direction. And so we are going to have our first scrap. So in BadgeQuest, scraps are one phase of the game. They're kind of like a battle, if you will. So to start off our scraps, everyone is going to make a TN6 skill test. So you are going to roll skill, and your target number is a 6. I need to know how many of you succeed on this.
Is it toughness or
Skill? It's a skill test.
Skill? Sorry. All right, so I got 2.
I got 1 6.
Okay. Fail
I
for
also got 1
Amelia.
6.
Yeah.
Josh, you also passed?
I got 1 6. Yes.
Perfect. So because half of you, at least half of you, succeeded on your skill test, you all get to act first during each round. So the way that it works when the round starts, everyone involved declares which phase they want to act in. So there are 3 phases in each round of a scrap. You have your thinking phase, your running phase, and your fighting phase. So if you want to act during your thinking phase, you're going to use wit and creativity to find a non-violent solution to the situation. So it could involve negotiating or distracting or finding some other way to avoid the conflict. If you want to act during the running phase, then you are going to try to like flee, right? Flee the scene. So if you're trying to just like get out of here, that would be the running phase. And if you want to fight it, either make or dodge attacks, that happens during the fighting phase. So let's have you all kind of act together. You all go first, and then the dog will get to go. So you all tell me which phase you want to act in. Thinking happens first, then running phase, and then the fighting phase. So what phase would you all like to act in?
Thinking.
Okay. So Lydia's going to act in the thinking phase. Anyone else want to act in the thinking phase?
I think Ember would
Yeah.
probably act in the thinking phase.
Okay.
I think Piper would try. I don't know if she's gonna come up with any good ideas.
Okay. Thinking phase as well. What about Amelia?
Amelia is horrified and will be running.
Okay. So for the thinking phase, you have a few options. You can talk, you can think, try to come up with a solution to get out of this situation, or you can try to resolve. It's a dog, probably a rabid dog. So you have a little, you're not really going to be able to like resolve or negotiate for this scrap. So let's start with Lydia. We'll say for the talking phase, if you want to try to calm the animal down, that is something you could do. Or if you have some other plan, we can make that happen as well. So thinking phase, we'll start with Lydia. What is Lydia going to try to do during this thinking phase?
Can I give the dog something? Okay, so I think in her backpack she had brought lunch with her. She didn't realize lunch was going to be provided. So she's going to open a small can of Vienna sausages.
Okay.
And take one out and say, "Good puppy." And she's going to throw it at the dog.
All right, cool. Let's do a TN6 charm test for that.
Okay. I got 1 6.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. So with that success, you cool. Let's go to Ember. What is Ember trying to do in this thinking phase?
I think Ember's first instinct will be to run to the nearest trailer and try to knock on the door and get somebody to come out and help them.
Okay, cool. We'll do same thing, a TN6 charm test.
Okay. Oh, 6?
Mm-hmm.
Nope, no 6s.
So you knock on the door and nobody answers, and you knock again and you just hear, "We don't want any," and they don't come to the door. Piper, what are you doing during the thinking phase?
So I think something somewhat similar to Lydia. I think to the horror of Ember, she grabs a box of cookies, opens it, and throws it at the dog.
Okay. Same
No,
thing.
what are you doing? That dog doesn't have any money.
TN6 charm test.
Alright, well, I'm not very charming, so we'll see about that. Nope, that's a 3. I only have 1 charm, so just 1 3.
Okay. All right. And then Hi, we're learning this game. I'm trying to figure out, do enemies act in each phase, or do they go one right after another? Scraps happen in a series of rounds equal to 6 seconds. Take one action during each round and phase. Okay, so during the thinking phase, the dog just kind of, he goes over and he eats the Vienna sausage really quick. He like gobbles it up, and then he goes over to the cookies and kind of sniffs at them. And that's what he does during the thinking phase. So now we are on to the running phase. And so Amelia takes off. Go ahead and make a TN6 toughness test, please.
Okay. Nope.
Okay, so you turn around and go to bolt, but what you don't realize is that your shoes are untied, and as you take a big step to run, you step on your shoestring and you just face plant.
Oh.
And what did you roll on your die? On your skill check?
And a 1.
Okay, so since you got a 1, we will call that a critical fumble. And so you are going to take, you can decide, I'll let you decide. So the way that damage works in this game is you take damage in one of 3 ways. So you can take stress, injury, or embarrassment. So when she falls, do you think that Amelia takes an injury or embarrassment damage?
Probably embarrassment.
Okay, so you take 1 embarrassment damage, and the way the damage works, embarrassment causes damage to your charm skill. So you take 1 embarrassment damage, which means your charm skill goes down by 1. And yeah, so if all of your skills get to a 0, then you are out and you have to rest. But when you rest, you can heal 1 point of damage per like evening that you rest. So you're going to take 1 point of charm damage from your embarrassment from falling. The dog does not do anything during the running phase, but because of the skill, because of Lydia's success on the skill test, on the charm test, the dog has gone from hostile to unfriendly. So it is still there, and it's just kind of growling at you. And it's going to not take its action during the fight phase. It's kind of backed off a little bit. It's not coming directly at you anymore. But it is still growling at you, and it's tense. It looks like it's thinking about like coming at you, but it's just kind of hesitantly waiting. So we'll go to our second round of our scrap. So who wants to act during the thinking phase? Anyone want to act during the running phase?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. And the fighting phase.
Fighting.
Okay. So Amelia and Ember are going to act during the running phase, and Piper and Lydia are going to act during the fighting phase. So we'll go, nothing happens in the thinking phase. We will go to the running phase then. So go ahead and make me that toughness test. Again, TN6 from both of you.
I have
Nope.
1 toughness. This is not going to go well.
I got a 5 and a 2.
I got a 6, though. I did get a 6.
Okay.
I'll take it.
All right. So, Amelia, you are still trying to get up and tie your shoe, and it's just taking you a really long time because you can't remember how the bunny ears and all of that. And so Ember turns around and bolts back toward the back towards the main part of the trailer park. So we'll go to the fighting phase now. So in the
Good luck, Amelia.
In the fighting phase, you have a few options. You can do a melee attack. So if you have a weapon, or if you want to punch it or kick at it, you can do a ranged attack. So if you have a slingshot or a BB gun, you can do that. Or you can do defense. And a defense is just to kind of protect yourself and block any attacks coming from the animal itself.
Is there any rocks around?
Oh yeah, for sure. There's tons of rocks.
Okay, I'm gonna try and pick up the biggest rock I can find and just chuck it at the dog.
Cool. Go ahead and make a TN6. This is a ranged attack, we'll call it, because you're throwing something, so we'll call this a skill test. So TN6 skill test.
Okay.
And if you have a badge, look at your badges, because don't forget your badges give you bonuses to certain rolls.
Okay.
I think somebody has archery, right?
I do, yeah. Let me...
Cool, so that should give you a bonus on this roll.
One more die. I got 1 6.
Okay, awesome. So that is a success. So damage appropriate for the chosen weapon. So we'll call that 1 damage. What is Lydia doing?
I assume that she's just gonna chuck the rest of the Vienna sausages, can and all.
Are you trying to do it as an attack? You're trying to hurt it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're throwing. So we'll say same thing. TN6 skill test, please.
Oh, I got 1 5.
You got a 5. Okay, so that's a fail. However, all right. So the dog, is. Yeah, so you hit it with the rock and it yelps. And then you throw the Vienna sausages at it and miss. But you have definitely undone whatever sort of goodwill you got by throwing the sausage at it first for tea. And so it now takes off and it comes right at Piper. So let me okay. So the dog is going to it's going to go to bite you, Piper.
Oh my god, I'm gonna get rabies.
And so you are going to make a TN6 toughness test to see if you can avoid the attack.
Okay. I got 1 6.
Cool. So the dog goes to bite you, and you manage to kind of get out of the way, like it lunges at you and you move out of the way and you avoid the attack, so you don't take any damage there. All right, we're in the next round. Thinking phase, running phase.
I'll do the thinking phase.
I
Ember will
think
do the thinking
Piper's
phase.
running
Ember
after
is
that.
out of the scene, so Ember
Oh,
is
I'm out of the scene.
gone.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gone. I'm out. All right.
I think
See you,
that
suckers.
Amelia will be in the thinking phase.
Amelia's gonna be in the thinking phase. Great. What would you like to do in the thinking phase?
I think that she's gonna see the dog go after Piper, and she is gonna like take a deep breath and probably like grab Bunny out of her backpack and like holds it up and like it's a toy for the dog and it's like, here doggy, come here, so it gets away from Piper.
Okay. Go ahead and make a, we will call this a charm test. And we
What
will,
happens if I have 0 charm?
then you automatically fail.
Okay.
But you know what? We'll call it a skill test. Because you're thinking pretty smart here. You're trying to like trick it. So yeah, we'll call it a skill test.
Thank God.
TN6 still.
Nope.
Okay, so the dog, you kind of holler at the dog, try to get its attention, and it doesn't. It's still like at Piper, growling.
When it doesn't work, you just hear Amelia go, sorry, Piper. I tried. And then she's gonna put Bunny back in her backpack.
Okay. All right, fighting phase. Oh, running phase. Great. Running phase. Who wants to go first?
Me.
Okay. TN6 toughness test.
Oh. None.
Okay. So you go to run, and you get a few steps away, but then you realize that Amelia is just like standing there. And so I think you stop and come back to get her. Piper.
None. Nope.
Okay, so yeah, you go to run away and you kind of fall back. The dog sort of, as you go to run, the dog like lunges at you and you kind of scoot out of the way and you fall back on the ground. So the dog is once again going to make an attack at you, Piper. So you need to make a TN6 toughness check to see if you can avoid the attack.
I got 1/6. Oh.
Okay, good. So it goes to grab you again, and you kind of roll out of the way and manage to get back up on your feet. You avoid the attack. It is also going to, of the three of you left, who has the highest charm score? Oh, wait, hang on. When this happens, the blossom with the highest charm. Okay, yeah, who has the highest charm score?
My charm ATM is quite literally 0.
Mine's 1.
Mine's 2.
All right, Lydia, you need to make a TN6 charm test to see if you can, because it's at half health. So you make a TN6 charm test to see if you can scare it away.
Okay.
No pressure.
I got a 5 and a 4. So
Okay. So it's still there. All right. Next round, thinking phase. Running phase. Okay. Go ahead and make your rolls.
I got a 6.
Good. So Amelia gets away this time.
As she runs, you hear her go, let's get out of here. And then she books it.
I got a 6.
Okay.
I got 2, 6, and a 4.
Great. So you all take off down the road, and the dog kind of follows you for a little bit and is barking and barking and barking, but it doesn't get very far. And as you get a couple trailers down, Piper or Lydia, one of your neighbors, has this like big pit bull, and it sees the stray dog and like runs and jumps up against the like chain link fence that it's kind of fenced in and starts barking at it. And the other dog kind of looks and runs back to the forest. So you all managed to get away. You survived your first scrap. Minimal, minimal damage done. Poor Amelia's a little embarrassed, but
I think she probably lives in a constant state of being a little embarrassed.
Glad nobody got rabies.
yeah.
Mm,
So,
absolutely.
you all finish up your night here, and we can go ahead and roll. Tonight you wrap up, and then also, so today's Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday. Nothing really of that much interest happens on Wednesday, so you're gonna go ahead and make me 2 skill checks, 2 cookie checks.
Okay, I took your advice and looked at my badges, and apparently I get a +1 on sales stuff due to my sales badge. So
Perfect.
I guess
So you get an extra
There you
die
go.
on that roll then.
extra dice.
Cookie
Yeah.
is 5, right?
Cookie test is, I believe, 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Oh, yes.
Even with all those dice, I still only sold 1 success for 2 more boxes of cookies.
Yeah, 5.
I got 1.
So you have a 0 charm right now. So Tuesday check, you get no rolls, but you do recover that 1 point when you sleep Tuesday night, so you will get to roll for Wednesday.
Okay, then I'll re-roll. I still got 1. I got a 5.
I got
Okay.
1.
I got 1.
For both nights.
Do I get my charm back?
You do get your charm back. Yeah, when you rest, you get 1. You can heal 1 point of damage. So Tuesday night after you go home, you're a little beat up. Your mom helps you like take a nice warm bubble bath, and you take care of yourself. And she puts on your favorite cartoon, and snuggles with you a little bit, and that makes you feel better. So you recover your charm.
Okay. Also, I didn't roll for Wednesday. That was just Tuesday. So I'll
Okay,
I'll
perfect.
roll
Go ahead and
How
roll for
many do you
Wednesday.
have? Oh, you let me know altogether.
Just 1 more box on Wednesday for me. Or 2
Which is
more.
2 more for you, right?
So how
Right,
many did you
yeah.
get? How did you get? How many did you get for both?
Total was 4 boxes
Okay.
for total.
Dang. I'm keeping track. I gotta update the cookie sheet.
Right. I can't wait to see this cookie sheet.
All
here. It's
right.
on the
Ember lives and
screen.
dies by the cookie sheet.
I'm sure. So with that, let's go ahead and we'll take a break here soon, but let's go ahead and finish out this week, let's say. So Thursday comes around and you all have planned to sell cookies in Amelia's neighborhood. And you all are going door to door selling cookies at all the various little shops. There's a little bookstore on this street, the coffee shop, and even though the coffee shop sells its own cookies, because your mom works there, they've agreed to let you all kind of sell some cookies in a store for a little bit. And so as you're walking along, kind of going door to door, as you walk to the next storefront, a girl with curly brown hair that reaches her shoulders rounds the corner. She wears fashionable clothes with bright colors and bold patterns. You recognize her as Harper. She used to be in your Blossoms troupe, but quit last year because it's for babies. And as she rounds the corner and looks at you, she stops. She looks you up and down, and she crosses her arms, and she says, "You guys are still doing that baby stuff?"
I think Ember absolutely does not think it's baby stuff. I think Ember is like, this is building character and we are developing skills for when we get older and we are going to be super rich and you're not, Harper. And so don't be so jealous.
I'm already rich. My daddy is your daddy's boss.
Well, that doesn't mean anything. I'm going to be your dad's boss one day.
And she just laughs at you when you say that. And she's going to walk up to you and she's going to say, um, she is going to, uh, she grabs the sunglasses off your head. Like you have your sunglasses kind of like up on your head because you're in a shady part. She grabs your sunglasses and she looks at them. These are not even expensive sunglasses.
Um, this is the most difficult character I've ever had to play in my life. Okay, here we go. She's going to be like, give those back, Harper. They're not yours.
What are you going to do about it, baby? And she puts them on.
You hear
And
Amelia
she's
from the
gonna
background. She just goes, Harper, you're not being very nice.
She just looks at you and gives you like the death stare.
I
And
think.
Ember is. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Ember. Go ahead. No, you're good.
Oh, Ember is going to glare at her like angrily, and then just all at once, her face is going to change while she's still glaring at Harper, and she is just going to cry really loud, like what? Like making like somebody just punched her in the face and knocked out all her teeth. She is going to suddenly sound really just pathetic and awful right in front of like all these shops and everything, and hope that some grown up comes and she can pretend that Harper is make Harper out to be the bully that she really is.
Go ahead and make a charm test with a TN 5.
Okay. Now, my drama badge says that I get +1 when I attempt to deceive people.
Yeah.
Would
So
this
you get an
count?
extra die. You get an extra die on
Okay.
that.
5+. Okay, yeah, I have 2 6s.
Okay, so you start crying, and immediately, the you guys are like right in front of this like health food store, and this yeah, middle-aged woman comes out, and she looks at you and she says, "Oh, sweetie, why are you crying?"
And she sniffles. She points at the sunglasses and she goes, "She took my sunglasses and told me that they weren't very nice, and now she won't give them back."
And the woman looks at Harper. "Is this true, young lady?" And Harper kind of freezes and takes the sunglasses off and hands them back to you. She and the woman says, "There we go. It'll be okay. Here are your sunglasses back. Don't listen to her. She's just not being very nice today." And she will turn and she goes and leaves and heads back to her car.
Before she heads back to her car, she's going to sniffle and say, "Thank you. Do you want to buy some cookies?"
And she go ahead and give me another charm test. We'll say TN 4.
Yes, I've got several 5s.
Great. I was in the Blossoms when I was your age. Of course, I'll buy some cookies. And she'll hand you a $5 bill and take a box of cookies from you.
So, one more box.
I think when Lydia sees her, she's gonna say, "Oh, hi, Miss Claudia. How are you?"
I'm doing well, sweetie. How are you?
It's been a little bit since I've seen you.
Oh, I've just been busy.
Oh, I've heard. Well, thank you for buying some cookies. We really appreciate it. And tell your fella I said hey.
You're welcome, sweetie. And she turns around and books it to her car. um, and then Harper kind of looks at you, Ember, and she just has this look on her face like, "Oh, you beat her," and she does not like that. And she sticks her tongue out at you, and she turns and she runs down the street, away from you guys.
I
As
think
she's leaving.
Piper. Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say
No, you
Piper's
go ahead. You
gonna
go ahead.
be like, Oh, wow, you're running away? What a baby thing to do.
And she just keeps running.
And Ember's gonna say loud enough that Harper can hear, but to the other girls, I told her I'm gonna be her daddy's boss one day. Just loud enough for Harper to hear.
She definitely hears it. And she kind of rounds the corner and is gone. So we will call that the end of Thursday. Friday, again, nothing happens. So we can get 2 more cookie selling checks.
I got one.
Okay. 1 for Amelia, 0 for Lydia, 1 for Piper. How
I
many?
have 3 successes for 6 boxes.
6 total boxes. Killing it. Ember Rose
Plus
is
the one.
really.
Is everybody keeping track of how many cookies they got? Because I don't know if mine is correct.
Yeah.
All
We
right.
can go over them on the break and make sure we got it right.
Yeah, so that is a good point. A good place. We will stop and take a break, and we'll be back in like 10 minutes. We'll be back at like 9:45.
Awesome.
Thanks, y'all. All right, y'all. Welcome back. Hopefully everyone had a nice little break. Just a quick shout out. Thank you to everyone who's watching us. We really appreciate watching our first stream. I know that we've had like a few little hiccups here and there, but we're learning the system and the whole stream thing. So we're really excited that you guys are watching, and we hope that you're enjoying our little story. If you are enjoying, please come back next week. We're going to be, usually this will be our time slot. It'll be Mondays at 6:30 Eastern, but the next few weeks are a little weird. So next week, it's not going to be Monday. It'll be Sunday, which is Easter, but like meh. So we will be online on stream this coming Sunday at 6:30 p.m. So you can check us out then. Let's get back into it. So you all have had a pretty productive week. Friday has come and gone. Do we have an updated cookie tally? Let's go through and tell us how many boxes we've all sold total. So we'll start with Lydia. How many boxes has Lydia sold?
I've sold 6 boxes.
Awesome. How many boxes has Amelia sold?
4.
How many boxes has Piper sold?
3.
And Ember.
Ember has sold 19 boxes.
Killing it.
Include,
Oh my god.
if we include the
MVP.
one that she sold to the lady on the street there just now, but yeah, that's 19.
MVP. Amazing. All right. So Saturday happens, and you all have decided to spend this Saturday selling in Ember's neighborhood. Ember lives in this like big subdivision that's kind of on the outskirts of town. And so y'all have been selling all day long. You've been going since early this morning. You had lunch at Ember's house. It was Ember. What did your mom serve everyone for lunch today?
Mom made an avocado hummus for everyone with some dried pita chips that she made from tortillas herself and baked in the oven. And that was the appetizer. And then she made a bunch of little like cheese sandwiches, and they're just it's obvious how hard she's trying just to impress a bunch of little girls. It's like she can't stop herself. So and she gave everybody like sparkling like juice, like in like fancy glasses and stuff. And it was just, and the whole time Ember is like super proud. Like if her dad was doing something like this, she would be crazy embarrassed, but it's her mom, which means it's cool. And so she's like, that's right. See, this is how people live. This is the right way.
Awesome. Cool. So you all head out for the afternoon, and you kind of go to the other section. And this sort of like back section of the subdivision is mostly these newer developed, like middle class cookie cutter houses. But once you get to a certain point, you get to an older part of the neighborhood, and there are these much larger, like Victorian style houses. And eventually, you come to the home of Miss Prudence, the town psychic. Miss Prudence's house is an imposing Victorian style home with a grand and stately presence. The house is painted in a muted gray blue color with white trim that accentuates the intricate details of the ornate architecture. The house has 3 stories with large, grand windows on each level. The windows are framed by dark shutters that contrast with the light color of the house. The front of the house features a large porch with white railings and steps that lead up to the front door. The porch is adorned with potted plants and a few rocking chairs, hinting at the hospitable nature of the woman who lives within. The front door is made of heavy oak with a brass doorknob and a brass plate that reads Prudence. The yard surrounding the house is well manicured with perfectly trimmed hedges and a small, pristine lawn. A gravel path leads from the sidewalk to the front porch, adding to the elegant and refined ambiance of the property. The house itself appears to be well maintained and in excellent condition, hinting at the attention to detail and care of the homeowner. Overall, Miss Prudence's house exudes an air of elegance, grace, and refinement, inviting guests to step inside and experience the warmth and hospitality of its owners. As you approach, you see Miss Prudence, a tiny old woman with a distinctive and eccentric appearance. Her hair is a mass of wiry gray curls that stick out in every direction, and her wrinkly face is dotted with freckles that seem to dance across her cheeks. Her eyes are large and bright blue, and they sparkle mischievously with a playful glint. Her nose is slightly crooked, and it adds to her unique and quirky appearance. Miss Prudence's fashion sense is equally eccentric. She wears brightly colored dresses and skirts, often with wild patterns and prints that clash delightfully. She accessorizes with chunky jewelry, scarves, and hats that are as colorful and vibrant as her clothing. Despite her age, Miss Prudence moves with a sprightly energy that belies her years. She's always smiling and laughing, and her